Writers, story beginnings matter, and so do endings. Today I want to teach you that professional writers spend lots of time writing and rewriting their endings. You can study these authors to learn how they craft their endings. This will give you ideas for how to bring your own story to a satisfying end. I'm going to read the beginning and the ending of our mentor text, Owl Moon, and I just want you to listen to how Jane Yolen wrote the beginning of the story and how she wrote the very end of the story. So first I'm going to read the beginning. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling. There was no wind. The trees stood still, as giant statues. And the moon was so bright the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us a train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. I just want you to think about the beginning. I'm going to read the ending of Owl Moon. When you go owling, you don't need words, or warm, or anything but hope. That's what Pa says. The kind of hope that flies on silent wings under a shining owl moon. I want you to think about what Jane Yolen did for the beginning of her story and what she did at the end of her story. So to craft powerful endings, there are many different ways that you could finish your story. Your ending could bring the story to a full circle. Your ending could echo the beginning. Your ending could solve the problem. Your ending could leave the readers with something to think about. Or your ending could bring out meaning, bring out the feeling. When we're thinking about crafting powerful endings, it's important for us to understand that an ending completes a story's action. So how are you going to complete your story's action? And I understand, I recognize the effort and the hard work that you're putting into your stories. And it is important to know that your effort and hard work is of your own making. So you are creating this powerful story, and now you're going to create your powerful ending. I will put this narrative writing sentence starters and transitions on the writing website, so you can look at it as well. But I think to craft my powerful ending, I might use I felt or looking back. Okay, so as I thought about how I wanted to end my conclusion, I wrote it 3 different times to get to where I'm at right here. But I went to the page where I took notes on the last page about taking the picture, and this is what I wrote. I felt ecstatic holding the heavy muskie. As my dad took the picture, I soaked in this small fishing moment. When we casted out our lines at the beginning of the day, part of me thought it was just going to be another day of muskie fishing. They always say muskies are the fish of 10,000 casts. That day, the muskie was not the fish of 10,000 casts. So I rewrote this like 3 different times. That's okay to do because as writers, we want to make sure that we're continually rewriting and revising our writing. And like I said before, if there's an adjective or something you want to add in, just take a sticky note and write a number in here in your conclusion. And then you know that when you write your final ending, you know to put whatever's on your sticky note where that number is at.